Hello fellow cinephiles, Film Guru here. Today I'm reviewing Mid90's. This was written and directed by Jonah Hill and stars Sonny Suljic, Lucas Hedges and Catherine Waterston. The film is set in the 1990s in Los Angeles. The film is focused on a 13-year-old boy, Stevie, played by Sonny Suljic. He spends his summer navigating between a troubled home life and a crew of new friends he meets at a skate shop. This film's ultimately a coming-of-age story, where young Stevie sort of tries to find his way through life. His home life isn't great, he gets abused and beaten by his brother a lot. His mother's sort of a bit odd and not always there for him. And it's sort of about him finding his own direction, his own way. And he sort of acts out in the film. And he really feels with this new lot of friends he has, he's starting to find his way and his direction and his voice and trying to see what's important. All these guys, even though they're sort of a bit flaky and have their own issues going on, they sort of band together. They sort of form this really close-knit family, and these guys really care about him. He's a lot younger than they are, but they really care for him and don't want to see him going down a bad path. And they feel they can help him in a lot of ways. And I really liked that. I thought that was a great aspect to the film. I think Jonah Hill's done a fantastic job here as writer-director. He talked about how this was sort of personal to him and some of the things in this film he experienced himself. And I really like the way he's able to execute this film. Not only does Jonah Hill capture the 90s, this film feels like the 90s. It feels like a film that could have been made in that time period. Just the way it's shot, the locations that they used, the clothing and production design, it just really felt like that period of time. And I really loved that. And I love he's able to bring such an interesting film to life. It's really a fly on the wall look at this young guy, Stevie, and we get to experience and see things as he does. And he sort of is the eyes into the world that we're exposed to. I think all the acting's solid. I think Sonny Suljic, I haven't really seen in much, only The Killing of a Sacred Deer. Yorgos Lanthimos' film, which is really good, and he's really solid in this, but I hadn't really seen much of him, and I think he's fantastic as the lead here. He's really navigating his way through it. What he brings to Stevie is quite interesting, and I just like the sort of character he is, and the struggles he goes through, and how he expresses himself on screen, but also as a character. I really liked Lucas Hedges in this. Lucas Hedges to me is an actor who just sort of slips into roles. He can play a variety of different things, and it's all very subtle the way he expresses himself and the way he crafts characters. And I think him here as Stevie's brother is really great, and the conflict between them. He's trying to act tough around his brother, but his brother's the one who's sort of starting to make sense of things and dealing with who he is and what he wants in life, where his brother sort of is stuck in a certain place. I thought Catherine Waterston was solid in her little role as the mother of these two boys, and how she sort of wants the best for them, and she sort of babies Stevie a little bit, but he really doesn't want to be like that or treated like that. He wants to be treated like a normal human being or a normal adult, and he's trying to find his way to do that. I like that Jonah Hill used a lot of non-actors in it, and they all give really great performances, and it feels very real and authentic to the time and place. And I felt real relatability to this film in a way. I used to hang out with guys like this when I was younger, as a teenager. All a bit rough and tumble. They all come from really difficult backgrounds and a lot going on in their life. And we all formed a great tight-knit group. But it just really felt a connection to that, and I loved that aspect of it. My favourite parts of the film was really the skateboarding scenes and the sort of crafting the relationship between these young skateboarders. I really loved those elements. The skateboard scenes were very authentic and realistic. I liked that they sort of done stunts. I like in a lot of it there's just them skateboarding with just music over the top, but it conveys so much. There's some great moments throughout the film. One of my favourite moments is after Stevie's sort of gone through some stuff, he's really angry and upset with things. One of the skateboarder kids comes over to him and they have this conversation, and he starts to explain background on each of the guys and what they're going through, and a traumatic event he's been through, and that really forms a bond stronger with these two. And after that they go on this, he talks about how skating was the only thing he had. He'd just go out and skate and forget everything. And then we ultimately have that moment in this film where these two young guys go skating down this highway. And I really love that. There's a freeness to that. There's a really cool elements and moments that are transpiring there. I feel like what Jonah Hill's able to show us here. It gave it sort of an emotional punch, even in this small little moment. And there's many scenes throughout the film that are like that. I like the choices that there wasn't a lot of dialogue and not everything was explained. Jonah Hill didn't hold your hand as you were watching the film. He just ultimately let it unfold as it was transpiring, and I really liked that. I love the choice of music, and there's just the way he made it was really inventive and interesting, and really captured that time period. I love that. Final thoughts. In the end, it's really a coming of age story of young Stevie trying to find his direction in life, and how he meets these unlikely friends that form a great family and bond and help him propel forward, and let him know he doesn't have to be tough or strong or do everything extremely. He just has to be a young guy. I'm going to give Mid90's 4 out of 5. I thought this was great, a great debut film for a writer-director, and it feels refreshing and feels like a new direction for Jonah Hill as a performer and as an artist. Anyway, that's all from me today. Thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video, and if you did, please subscribe down the bottom. Follow me on Facebook. Otherwise, until next time, enjoy the movies.